Well, hello there, it's the Archivist from TradingCardArchives.com. I'm here to do another SCP video. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that SCP Foundation is one of my personal favorite franchises. It's kind of a community project. I mean, it's actually very much a community project. There's a wiki, SCP wiki. If you just search SCP Foundation in Google, you'll definitely find it, SCP like this. Um, and the wiki has, thousands of fan created articles and stories and letters and picture and just it's all this stuff to create this mythos of a foundation that is protecting the world from supernatural things. So I know that story's been told a lot in movies and stuff, right? The Warehouse 13, for example, the X-Files, that kind of stuff. But SCP is the fan-owned version of that. And it is exhaustive, and there's so much awesome stuff in there. I've been reading that wiki for at least 15, 20 years now, and still finding new stuff in it all the time, right? There's just so much depth to this mythos. It's great. So I'm kind of obsessed with it. And so when I found out that there was a trading card set based on it, I immediately wanted to get that. It's kind of partially the inception of the entire project of the trading card archives is to find out about this set. And we found a lot out about it over time. Uh, but before we get too deep into talking about the history of this particular set and box, I do want to show off my top cards for the day. We just pulled these in a battle just before this. Both were hit cards from boxes, so these are both like top end hit pack cards. This is a Nico Robin SXR from Endless Treasure the 6th, so the very most recent version of Endless Treasure, the most recent release. That's Kabog Animation's awesome One Piece set. And as you can see, it is a gorgeous card. So this is my top card right now, first place, just because of how good it looks. Now this came from my favorite Chainsaw Man set, KXDJ2. It's usually like a very waifu-y set, but at the top end cards, they actually revert back to manga art. That's what this is. And I love this particular image because of the purple rain in the background, just beautiful. And then it's also numbered to 488, so we've got a serial numbered card here, which is great. So yeah, second place card. All right, now back to this. So this is SCP Foundation. It's a series of trading cards originally printed by Kamon. And actually, we have, when I first found out about this set, I was putting it in the same bucket as two other things that are not actually part of this product. One of those is the SCP Foundation YCSX releases. And those are actually printed by a completely different company. They're not printed by Kamon at all. I was totally wrong about that. And it took me, well, actually, I didn't realize this. Commenter, Pink Eye, he told me about this because he opens a lot of these cards too. There's a few people that open a lot of this product. And he mentioned that the YCSX is actually a completely different company. And so right now, I'm no longer considering YCSX part of SCP. I'm only considering the Kamon cards to be part of it. We also thought that Kamon's other cryptid set, Abnormity Hunter League, was part of this. It's also not part of this. So SCP is really limited to just the Kamon YCSR releases. So YCSR. If you see an X, it's a different company that made it, not Kamon. So YCSR are the Kamon sets. And then this particular box, I've always called it the Pyramid of Doom, but really it's more of a triangle than a pyramid. I have a bunch of these. I think I have 5 total copies of this box. I've opened 2 already. This will be my 3rd. I have a 4th one in there, and then I have one that is in storage. So what I did is I put 1 copy of each of these boxes into like acrylic cases, and I'm going to store them forever. So that's how much I am obsessed with this set. Now, all that said, I always, whenever I open this product, I always have to talk about the fact that all of the artwork you're going to see on these cards is stolen. And I mean that in like the most true sense. You know, it's not stolen in the sense that they copied the style. It's stolen in the sense that they literally took the art that a fan created, printed it on the card, and did not give the fan credit and did not pay the fan any money. So that is all bad. And on top of all that, the SCP Wiki is licensed with CC0, which is a commons license, sort of a public domain license. But that license means that companies cannot produce retail products like this unless they put the retail product into the public domain as well. So by licensing agreement reasons, this product technically would go into the public domain. At the same time, it was printed in China, and China does not acknowledge any international trade legal treaties like that. So from China's point of view, this was totally okay to do, even though, you know, ethically and morally and all those reasons, it's not a great thing to have. That out of the way, we're still going to look at it because I still love these cards and I love talking about SCP. So we're still going to look at this set today. Now this is the 10 Yuan box. So this is the highest end box that you can buy. It includes a lot of original cards that are only in this set. So on the back here, there's kind of a list of cards that are kind of only in this particular set. The vast majority of them are focused on SCP-001. And if you know about the wiki, SCP-001, you know, would be the first SCP that they capture. They number them all. And so SCP-001 would be the first, but it's actually kind of a mystery what the real SCP-01 is. What there are a bunch of proposals, but the Foundation will never say which is the real one. And so there's 36 different proposed SCP-01s on the wiki, and they each have a card here. And those cards look really cool. So that's the main thing that gets added here. But then on top of that, there's this MLR chase of the Red King, who chase card in here. But you usually get one in every box, so we're probably going to pull it today and look at it. The other thing about this box is it's a triangle. It's let me see if I can actually make a retail one. I've never done that with this. Oh, I probably can't. I'm gonna rip it. Oh, these boxes always get ripped in shipping. They're very hard to get shipped to you in one piece, which is why I have the ones in acrylic, because otherwise they all get kind of destroyed in shipping. Like I'm destroying this one right now. Oh, it's just very kind of. They're old too. All these boxes are at least a couple years old. The set hasn't been printed in a few years, and it's actually going out of stock in a lot of places. I have a lot of stock here that I bought a long time ago, so I'm okay. But if you're interested in this set, I would recommend buying it like now, because it is rapidly going out of stock. In fact, YCSX we think is completely out of stock everywhere right now. Another reason why I'm not collecting it at the moment. But yeah, so YCSR1 is still available, but it's old now and probably not going to be sold much longer. Okay, so anyway, the 10 UN box, it's a weird shaped box. It's a triangle, right? And I titled the video, Don't Make Triangular Boxes. So the reason I'm ripping this today is because it's a triangle. So I had it on the shelf at the top, and it makes sense up there because you can't put anything on top of it or it'll slide off. So this box does not stack well on shelves, and that's the main sort of problem with it, and why you shouldn't make triangular boxes. Now they did that because they wanted the box to stand out on shelves, right? They wanted the box to really look cool on the store shelf and to be very different from all the other boxes, and they succeeded in that way. No one else makes a box like this. When I see that kind of thing, it reminds me of the early days of PC gaming. So I'll show you what I mean. So I pulled some of these pictures from the internet right before this video. But in the early days of PC gaming, you know, back when Walmart had a PC gaming rack with all the boxes on it, every single company would try to make their own like really unique looking box in order to capture your attention. Even though all that's in the box is a manual and some discs, right? They could be a rectangle, and most of them were, but a lot of companies would get super creative like this and make, like here, a triangle box for the game Spectre, right? Or this Prince of Persia box with this really weird, rhomboid type shape. The Incredible Machine had a pyramid as well. This Ultra box from Electronic Arts, actually a pretty interesting thing. It transforms. So that box, you can refold it and transform it into an Ultrabot. It's a weird thing. But yeah, that was a very popular thing to do back then because they wanted, again, their product to stand out on the shelf. And it kind of worked. Okay, so back to this. This is, SCP Foundation, YCSR1, the 10 Yuan packs. At the base, these packs are going to have SR, and then they're going to go up from there. So there won't be any rares at all in these packs. And then we'll just kind of see what we pull. So our first pull is one of the XRs. So we'll get one of these in every pack. These are a clue as to which SCP-01 is the real SCP-01. Although, like I said, that's never been revealed. So, these clues are things they made up for this set. It's not, officially endorsed by the wiki or anything like that. Now here is a GR. So GRs are top rarity cards beyond until you get into limited stuff. This is one of my favorite GRs, this owl here. I can't actually remember the story of this SCP. I'm going to go look up the story of this one real quick, and I'll be right back. It's SCP-1049. I'm going to pause here. All right, so yeah, this one is pretty creepy. I had forgotten all about it. But yeah, basically this is a regular owl. There's nothing really weird about this owl other than its eyes have kind of a pinkish tint to them, and they've captured that on the card here. But what's special about this owl and what makes it so dangerous is if it bites you, your skeleton will dissolve, like inside of you. So you're just going to fall into a pile and be dead with no bones anymore. That's what this does. So that's the kind of stuff the SCP wiki has on it. And that's, I guess, a perfect example of that type of thing. This one, SCP-252, there's multiple SSRs. This is an SSR level card featuring this SCP. All of them have similar kind of artwork like that. This is one of the SCP-01 cards. They're all at the ZR rarity, and they all have this kind of line art with then, lots of foil treatment on top of it. And so this is for SCP-01 30. So, oh, and actually this is a ZR star. So you notice it has a little plus at the side. There's like regular ZRs, and then there's ZR pluses. The pluses are the higher numbered ones. They're more rare. And then here we have these are going to be the SRs from the pack. So we've got 52, which is that time-traveling subway train. Oh, I've never seen this one before. This one is this mask. If you wear it, it kind of takes you over and makes you do things. It's a very creepy mask. You can never take it off either until you die. I don't remember this bird. 2682? Why don't I go look this one up? I'll pause here. I'll be right back. Well, it's one of those sort of reality bending, shape-shifting ones. But basically, like, you should go read the article on it. But the first experiment they did on this, it's basically just a raspberry, but it's a special color. They had one of the D-class. So D-class are these disposable people that they use to test these things. They made a D-class touch it, and he got spaghettified immediately, which, is not good. So that's not a good one. So let's open another up here and see what we got. You notice I don't tend to sleeve the SRs just because I have almost all of them now, I think. Ooh, that's a GR I didn't have yet. It's another XR. This is for SCP-0126. And yeah, this is a GR I did not have yet. It looks really good. A lot of gold on there. What is that for? Ooh, it's from the SCP-CN. So this is from the Chinese wiki. So SCP has different language wikis in many countries. The Russian one is actually very active, but the Chinese one is also very active. And so this is an SCP that is specific to China's wiki, which means I would have never read about it. Let me go see if they translated it, and I'll be right back. It is translated, but it's kind of hard to understand because the translation word, a lot of the words get translated in different ways. For example, like reality gets translated as ordinary. So anyway, you got to kind of understand translation a little bit to be able to read it. But basically, this is a kind of machine that alters reality whenever somebody goes in it. And who's ever inside of it sort of gets to direct that alteration, with the caveat that it's always going to be bad. So no matter what your intention is when you get in there, it's always going to end bad for the world. So the Foundation considers this a Keter class object because it's impossible to contain and also would easily destroy the world if someone bad got in there. Even if someone good gets in there, it could destroy the world. So yeah, that's kind of what they do. Yeah, so they have like classifications of objects, and like Keter is one of the highest classifications you can get. There's SCP-2845, one of the deer. Oops, any more sleeves? I usually only sleeve the SSRs and higher, just because we have a lot of the SRs already. Here's another ZR plus. This is SCP-016. Cool, that's the SCP logo there in the middle. And then we get some ZRs. I always like this one, SCP-93. If you've never read any SCP wikis, search that one first, SCP-093. Read through it and make sure you read whenever you get to these posts, there'll be like addendums or letters that are linked from the main article, and they just have like a URL. Make sure you click on those because most of the story of this is hidden in that. And if you don't read that, you won't really understand this story because the main wiki, it looks very innocuous. But if you read the investigation reports, it's not innocuous at all. This one is crazy. And there's the cat. I always like the cats. And so whenever anyone asks me, like, what's a good SCP to start with, I always tell them 93. That's where you should start. Well, it is kind of long. So if you're looking for a shorter one, maybe don't do that. Here is SCP-0110's clue. Another GR that I did not have yet. This is most excellent. This is SCP-76. I think that's Kane, the warrior, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna go look it up again. Sorry, I'm gonna pause and look this one up too. I've never seen it before, and I want to make sure I tell you the right thing. All right, yeah, this one's pretty interesting too. I mean, all these early SCPs with the low numbers are all pretty good articles because they're from the very beginning, basically. And so this one is another Keter class, and it's basically a 3-meter rock cube that is kept currently at the bottom of the ocean because they don't want it to get out ever. And this guy is like a ghost that lives in the cube. And if he comes out and gets out into the world, he hunts people. That's all he does. He just wants to kill everybody. And very effective at it, but it's one by one, right? So this, if left on his own, he would kill every single person on the earth one by one. So the Foundation's trying to stop that from happening, obviously. Here's a dupe. Get used to that. If you start collecting SCP Foundation, dupes happen, and they happen a lot. So yeah, be ready to get a lot of dupes because you're going to get a lot of dupes. Here is another ZR Plus, and this is 27. Nice. And then we'll look at our SRs. Sorry, I don't talk a lot about the SR. If there's one you're super interested in, let me know or go look it up yourself. The wiki's a lot of fun to explore. What I recommend too is if you get into it, there are apps in the App Store, iOS and Android apps, that have copies of the wiki that are offline. And that way you can read them on an airplane or anywhere you don't have connectivity. So I always make sure I have one of those on my phone so that when I'm on a plane or something, I can keep reading it. That's why I read most of it. There's SCP-014's clue. Here is an SSR. Ooh, another deer, 2845. So that's actually the same one. Yeah. So let's look at these two here. So these are both SCP 2845, but they're two different depictions. And if you look at the code numbers up there, you'll notice this one is from YCSR 2, and this one is from YCSR S. S means this particular copy is unique to this box. So any card that's YCSR S came out of this 10 UN box. It's only in that box. This card, though, the YCSR 2, you could pull that from any of the YCSR 2 sets, including this one, which reprinted some of them. So this is like a reprinted version of a card from the YCSR 2 set. Anyway, I always think it's interesting because you've got like two different images here for the same SCP. And you've got this very innocent looking teddy bear here. I actually just read the article for this one a couple days ago. Reread, I've read it before. But yeah, basically this teddy bear looks very innocuous and in fact is sentient and tries to convince you that he's very safe. And in reality, this one is. So this particular teddy bear, just a regular teddy bear, you can give it a hug. It's actually really nice. The problem is when you're not looking, it will use anything it can find, garbage, extra tools, whatever, to build new teddy bears. And the new ones it builds will be evil. So very evil. So you've got to be careful with that guy. Here's another ZR plus, and this is YCSR 17. We get some SRs. You'll notice already like a lot of dupes in the SRs. There's only maybe 30 of those in each set. So you will end up pulling a ton of dupes of those. And remember, there's a whole rarity below that R that we aren't even seeing here because these are the 10 UN packs. They don't include the very cheap cards, only the more expensive ones. Here's another one, SCP-012. I think I might have this one, but I can't remember actually. But this is SCP-49, the Plague Doctor. Easily one of the most iconic SCPs that exist. He's basically a plague doctor, but that's not a mask. That's his face. And he can't take that off. And he has some very interesting proclivities as a doctor, let's just say. But yeah, tons of writing about him, like hundreds of stories about this particular SCP. And it will also appear in other SCP stories. So for example, they had the doctor try to fight the hard-to-kill lizard once, and he's like, nope, not gonna do that again. So, some more SRs for us. Going. So I'm trying to speed up a little bit because it's gonna end up a long. I always forget there's 20 packs in this box, so it's twice as much as I expect. Most 10 UN sets only have 10 packs, and so I'm like, I'll get through it in a 30-minute video. But no, this one's a little harder. There's SCP-113. This is SCP-1470 MA10. I'm not sure. I think that's the mobile phone app, right? That comes in. It's kind of like the Ring. Great texture work on this one, though. And there's a dupe. Here is a ZR Plus of 34. And that's just the SCP logo. That's kind of a cool card. And then our SRs. think probably all dupes at this point. We haven't pulled any LR or MLR yet. Those are kind of the like real top tier cards. But they're limited in that you get like one in a box. But there also aren't that many of them, so usually the one you get in the box is the only one that's in that set. But from what I've seen, the SSRs are probably the hardest to complete. GR is actually not that hard to complete. You end up with a lot of them. Especially if you buy the yellow box, that's a box with 50 packs in it. Every time I've opened one of those, I've ended up with 10 different GRs. Although you have to be careful because there are some GRs that are unique to each box, and so if you want to complete this set, you will end up buying every single box because you're just going to have to. And you'll end up buying lots of them. It's a deviously difficult set to get completed. There are some like really negative things about this set distribution wise that I should warn you. Specifically that yellow box. Me and Pink Eye discovered this via a bunch of experimentation with boxes. But basically when you buy one of the yellow boxes, which has 50 packs in it, right? There's exclusive cards at the UHR rarity level in that box. Some of the boxes will have none in it, like 0. Like it's not that you had a chance, you had no chance. Like there are boxes that just will never have a UHR in them. And then there are boxes that will have all of the UHR, like all 6, and you'll get like 2 of each. You can't tell looking at a box which one it is. And so you can end up buying like 4, 5, 6 boxes and never get a single UHR. And then you'll buy the 7th box and it'll just be full of UHRs. I laugh like that's a good thing, but that is a horrible thing. Like think about that. If you're actually trying to like complete that set, that is really not cool. And almost like makes some of the collectors just give up completely because it's so uncool to do that. But, you know, if you're really looking into this, you got to deal with that. And I mean, it's easy for me to say that because I got lucky and got the UHRs on my first box. And then Pink Eye's like, what? I've opened so many boxes and not gotten any. And that's how we kind of discovered that. Because then the next box I opened had none in it at all. And you can't tell from the serial number or anything. It's just totally random. There we go. Another one here. Got SCP-0110. A couple SSRs. Here's 4729. And then that's a dupe. That is ZR. Those are all ZR pluses. Maybe they're all ZR plus. I can't ever remember. I don't remember that one. 1867. Huh. I really don't remember which one that is. I'll look it up later. I don't want to pause again. The trouble when I pause is I actually will spend like 20 minutes just reading the wiki and getting distracted and stuff, and then I'll come back. And so it makes this video that it's like 40-minute runtime. It took me like 3 hours to shoot it because I just kept getting distracted. So that's why I'm trying not to pause as often now. Oh, I already have this one, but this is a beautiful card. Really great image. But yeah, I have a copy of that already. That's going to be a dupe. This is a dupe as well. Pulling a lot of dupes now. This is the Swamp Lady SCP-811. One of the most Rule 34 SCPs that there is. That poor Swamp Lady has been drawn in so many compromising positions. She's just a swamp lady, guys. I don't understand. Not the most. There are others that are more, but she is definitely drawn quite often that way. This little dude is super cool. So this is SCP-999. He's like the orange jelly or something they call him, but he's basically happiness incarnate. So he's like an incarnation of happiness, and having him near you will make you feel hopeful and happy. And so definitely a good SCP to have around. That's the thing. Like, not all these SCPs are bad. Most of them are, but that one really isn't. Okay, we need some more sleeves now. Luckily, I have a lot of sleeves here. I bought an entire case of these last year, and I'm hoping it lasts me through this entire year, too. I think it will. I'm not even halfway through it. A lot of nice SSRs here, which is cool. So there's a very pretty ZR here. And that is SCP-13, 00113 is that one. And then for SRs, here. Okay, let's see what we got here. I really hope we get the MLR. I think you get it in every box, but we haven't pulled it yet. You'll know when you see it because it's very colorful. A lot of foil on that. This is a dupe. This is not a dupe, though. We haven't pulled this one yet. Today. Anyway, I pulled that before, but not today. Actually, I think this might not be a dupe, too. Yeah, I guess they're all, say, ZR+. I didn't think that was right. Let me check that. ZR... Yeah, they're not all ZR pluses. There's non-ZR. I guess I'm just pulling all ZR plus today. Maybe that's another distribution thing. Like maybe they make pyramid boxes that have only the pluses and ones that don't. God, that would be horrendous if true. I'd never noticed before. I never checked before. But I don't think I've pulled pluses, so maybe that's the case. Always more to learn about these sets. Even as much as I've learned, there's still way more to learn about them. You know, we never saw this set at sort of the height of its production, right? When it was really being advertised and produced. We don't really know how they tried to sell this or anything. Gosh, that is a really nice looking card. It's another GR I've never seen before. Some kind of dragon, I guess. It's hard to even read the SCP number on this one. Let me see if I can get it. 3844. All right, I will pause and look up 3844 for you. I'll be right back. So it's a safe anomaly that the Foundation negotiated with. It's a sentient dragon, lives in the Dolomite Mountains around Italy, and the Foundation basically came to an agreement with this dragon where they're going to send an ambassador to it to talk to it every once in a while, and in return it will not kill very many people. That is another one that is kind of a pretty interesting article. It's written as a letter, not really like a typical post. It's just kind of a letter about the negotiation they did with the dragon, which is kind of an interesting thing to read about. Remember, all that stuff is just made up by fans. Like, none of it's real, obviously, but I talk about it like it's real sometimes. Here is 2662. I'm not too sure which one that is, but I don't want to pause again. This is a dupe. We pulled this earlier today. And then our SRs. Ooh, okay, we got the MLR in here. I can tell because of the coloration of the card. Oh, it's just the LR. Oh, I was wrong. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. But anyway, this is the one of the LRs. There's a couple, but this is a very pretty card. And the LRs also depict SCP-01. This is SCP-01-16, which is Sunfall, I think. It's where the sun turns against humanity and starts killing everyone. Yeah, not joking. That's what happens. SCP-999, this fun guy, he's a big part of that one because he kind of comforts the last group of SCP employees before they get killed. Then they get killed. What was so horrible about that story, if you ever read it, is the way it's positioned is they knew about it ahead of time, right? Because the sun takes time to go around the earth, right? So when it started, everyone died under the sun. And then the people on the other side of the earth knew that was happening, but it was still dark here. And so they knew when the sun got to them, it would start to happen. Anyway, yeah, very clever, clever story. It's the kind of thing where like you wonder why no one's ever taken that idea and tried to make a movie out of it. I mean, you could make a pretty cool short survival horror movie type situation. Like you could just have 4 people in a room, right? And you wouldn't actually need to show any of the outside stuff really to tell that story. Someone probably has. There's a lot of independent SCP Foundation videos that are produced. Some of them are really good too. Like they'll have, I mean, one had people in like full special ops gear and everything go assault this cult facility. It was awesome. Yeah, so yeah, I would recommend watching some of the SCP Foundation videos too. They're very good. All on YouTube. And here's our SRs. Really one I don't remember seeing before. Sorry, this video got really long again. I'm sorry. I need to talk less about these. Oh, we got a copy of it. So there's a couple LRs, but for some reason I always pull this one. So I have actually many copies of that card already. Here's a copy of one of those deer. Here's another ZR plus. And we have that one already. And then here's the SRs. Getting there. What's great about this is I now have so much more room in my closet. Like, opening this box and getting off that shelf opened up like a cubic foot of space for me to use. So, just because of its weird triangular shape. Okay, this is a dupe. Also a dupe. I sleeve these anyway because somebody someday might want like another set of those. And it's possible that I'll end up with multiple sets of the various levels. Like I definitely have multiple sets of the SRs at this point. Or, if a collector has opened 6 or 7 boxes and they're just missing like 2, and they don't want to buy a whole other box just to try to get those 2, maybe I could help them out, right? What I'm here for. There's the MLR. Okay. Yeah, it'll be in every box. But there it is. 80099. The Scarlet King. Very, actually, technically they call him safe, but you should read the post to see why they call him safe, because it's not because he's safe. Here's a nice one. Oh, we need some more sleeves. Something about infinity, I would guess. Bars. 2 more packs. I want to get one more GR maybe. I'd love to get a GR that another one I didn't have yet, because I must be getting really close to having all the GRs. We actually have a a set list for this that me and Pink Eye put together, where I think we have every single thing filled in, so we know what all the cards in this set are, and then from that we can tell which ones we don't have. 3 copies of that in one box. This one is also a dupe. This is a ZR Plus that's just kind of computer code there. Yeah, that's HTML code that's on there. It's not real programming. Nope. And then last pack, let's see. Give me a big HR. Give me a big GR, I mean. Give me another Plague Doctor one. I love those. Oh, it's not happening. When you get 1 SSR at the top, it means you're going to get 2 SSRs. Here's another 2521. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is actually another one. This is a 3rd variant of that. I haven't seen that variant before. This is a dupe. And then our SRs. There you go. 1 box of SCP YCSR 10, the 10 UN, and you kind of see what you get in there. You're going to get quite a few SSRs. So like I said, if you're looking to fill in your SSRs, this is the box to open for it. Not as many GRs. The yellow box is the box if you want GRs. You're going to get like 10 in that. And then, yeah, a lot of this other stuff too. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments if there were any questions or anything like that. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and set up for my next one. Bye.